Good morning. Welcome back to Project Zero. This is Rishav here. I didn't think I'd be recording this time. Let's be honest. Things didn't really pan out. I kind of made the wrong decision on what to work on, so I misprioritized, and here I am waking up way too late. So timing's a bit off, and I've been a bit of a pickle because I don't have something that I need to do what I need to do for a certain task. So we'll talk about that very shortly. But again, leaf shelter is spite shelter for those without a stable family or home, for those without, yeah, well, I just said it. It's also a mixture of slice of life, virtual and fun, engaging activity, plus in real life IRL responsibility and tasks and obligation and discipline, mishmashed together to create this activity, this place where those lost souls can come here to find some sense of fulfillment and do things that they enjoy. And yeah, that's that. All right. Anyways, I used to be self-improvement, used to be self-therapy. Yeah, all that's past. Now, so this is gonna be a very physical video. Once again, it's gonna cover physical objects, materials, and items. It's a plan of the day kind of thing. And that's largely because we wanted to do what we wanted to do. As I said, I'm missing the materials for. Is I should have bought a bottle of water yesterday. I never buy bottled water, but I should have used it. I should have bought one. That's because it's for adding to paint. And so I'm going to showcase like the cart, right? This cart. I've mentioned this several times over the past couple of video podcasts, and what I want to do is it's not too terribly important, but it is something that does bother me because that doesn't really fit. I go up. There are white wheels here on the bottom. There's also the blue bag. I just like it all possible to keep it all black. Garnish a little bit of attention in the wrong ways because I kind of go out and it doesn't really match. Garnish some eyes, some attention. I don't really want that. But anyways, in addition, I could just kind of play it all black. So I bought some paint, and what we need to do is actually sounds kind of fun, actually, if you think about it, just painting. I've never done that in my life, but we want to basically get a bottle of water so that we can actually add it to the acrylic paint that we purchased, and then just quickly, within about, I don't think it should take any more than half an hour to finish the paint job. It's just a couple wheels, and maybe the sticker here too as well. I don't know. And then that should be done. Afterwards, we'll consider maybe painting the blue bag somewhere near into the future, maybe not even near in the future, it might be for quite a while. So let's cover what we have, new purchases relating to this as well. Though we actually did quite a bit outside, and then again we ended up coming super late, and then when we came back super late, we still had a whole bunch of stuff to upload. So as a result, wait, hold on, test. Okay, I was worried that my voice was being reverbed into the mic. But there was some stuff we did on the side, of course, and then we came back to the current residency, and it just took another 5 hours to upload everything. And then I wasted some time. I didn't waste some time, but I worked on something that I probably could have worked somewhere else, which is a topic for the next video. Probably not this video. Definitely not this video. But the next video podcast will cover WordPress and Podbean once again, and my kind of solution for that, because I recognize everything's kind of ramping up right now. I have so many. Geez, I must be 100 episodes in. Yeah, I must have punched out at least 100 video episodes right now. And if I delay any further, all of these will be missed from being posted onto WordPress, which I don't want. I want this to be all on WordPress. I do. But it's difficult. I don't know if it's appropriate to post WordPress blogs that have, just the descriptive text of a post and then just a video that's different. So the media is different, but the text is the same. And that doesn't really, I don't think that makes sense for WordPress because it's a blog. I think that might be flagged as spam. I don't know. I don't know. So anyways, that's something to think about in another video podcast. And so what we'll cover here is some new purchases we bought. And a lot of stuff that we bought here yesterday has to do with kind of refurnishing a little bit. It's not really refurnishing. I'm not going to make any major changes to the unit that I have leased out. But like I mentioned, the ceiling is open with some wires, and I'd like to get that covered up so that things don't fall in, like particularly another moth, or another some sort of insect or dust or stuff that's not supposed to be falling on all my shit, all my property, all my stuff and belongings. So what I'm gonna do is okay, let's turn the camera down. So the car has gone through a little bit of major of a change here. You can see there's a little lock. And I want to say that one of the great things I did yesterday was I actually spent about 2 hours. That was a waste of time. That was actually a waste of time. But it was actually something that yielded results. I troubleshooted and I just picked my own locks. These are Dudley locks. I actually have a good decent idea of what the combinations used to be. So I was able to guess several combinations, and by several I actually mean probably around 25 to 50 different combinations before I finally cracked both locks. So I have 2 Dudley locks. One of those you get from way back in like your school. Another when I went to swimming, and so those 2 locks they have combinations that I didn't actually write down on some sort of digitized format that I could actually easily retrieve. The combinations are lost. I don't know where they are, or they were, right? They were, and I wanted to use the locks specifically because if I'm moving out, right, it's very important to have a lock to securely, store your stuff. So, anyways, it's not something I can use a unit, as I mentioned before. The storage unit at the one that I have leased out, they have their own locks, and those locks are far more sturdy than these Dudleys, because Dudleys you can just, let's say someone takes a pair of clamps, the shears, all they have to do is just snap it in half. That's not the same with the locks that they have at the warehouse. Those are rounded locks, so you have to actually grind it down using like a grinding machine. That'll take half an hour. So it's much more secure, long story short. Anyways, we can still make use of the locks ourselves, so we decided to crack it. And we took it alongside in our pockets and inside one of those bits of equipment I usually wear. And then when I found the time, and there's this great location actually right outside of my unit and outdoors with benches. It's a professional suite building, and then outside they have these amazing stone benches and stuff. So I sat there for the past 2-3 days, and I was able to work on stuff on the side, just cleaning out some some garbage, some clutter, but after I transferred the stuff to the unit and then left. So what my plan here is to basically go there and what we did, we were over there yesterday and we cracked the lock. So one of my first demonstration opening the lock, you're not going to see the combinations. Obviously I'm not going to let you see the combinations, but what I can do is showcase that basically this lock here is exactly what's keeping the cart from opening right now, because there's actually stuff inside. Usually this opens, but right now it's kept together by the single lock here on the side. So what I've done is you can't see this single stilt here, and then this stilt and this very top bar, metal bar, are locked together in such a way that this cart will not open even if I have a bunch of stuff inside right now. So usually it only stays put if there's nothing inside. If there's stuff inside, it immediately automatically opens. So I'm going to open the lock. So give me about 10 seconds, or you know what, I'll just pause the video. And beautiful. So actually the great thing about this is because there's already pressure applied on it, the lock automatically opens after I put in the combination. So let me just pull it up right now, and you can see the stilt. Ooh. I wish you could have seen that. It just automatically opened up. So we have here the Dudley lock, right? It's a Dudley. The combinations, and then it just goes left, right, left, right, something like that. And yeah, so you get that, it opens up, and I have 2 of these. So I plan on using, I chose the blue one to go with the blue, since it matches the color here, the blue with the blue bag put together. Just a little minor thing here I want to mention. And the black one, hopefully after we paint, sometime down, a couple months down the road when we paint the bag as well. Right now we haven't painted the bag, so we're going to use the blue Dudley. You can see that it's a blue coloration to it, but we also have a black Dudley, so the other one we'll use for this once we've done painting it all black. For now we'll only paint the wheels black. So let's cover the material inside, but before we do that, I recognize that there's something really, really, really important that I just forgot about, and I shouldn't have. So on the side here, basically where next to the office is, really it's just where the office is, okay, are some relocated tools. Okay, you think of like a toolbox, when handyman kind of stuff, when you have to drill a hole into your door or something like that. On top of that is also, it was a region where I had kept all of the nutritional supplements, all right? And so here's a little cartridge here that, I keep some health packs. So Usana Health Science health packs. So this is nutrition for the body, of course, and minerals, vitamins, all this stuff like that. And then in addition, some bioflavonoids, in other words, or phytoproteins that are actually good for the body, that help to increase your body's endogenous anti-free radical antioxidant powers. So what we're going to do here is always to cover inside, since we're talking about locks, that has to do with security, and this is really important because I have a new spare key, and I'm going to showcase that very, very vaguely, but there's a spare key that I used to keep in this cartridge that I'm obviously not going to keep there anymore. That's why I can reveal. So there's two spare keys now. Before there was only one, and the golden one, so I'll showcase it very briefly. The golden key is to this unit. No, not to this unit, but to this household, and it is a duplicate. And then the next one here, in case anything happens, right? Not to be. And then on the top hand side is the silver key. Now the silver key is new. The silver key is basically my new storage unit, and so I was gifted, lent. I was gonna say gifted. That doesn't make a lot of sense. It's a lease. You have 3 spare keys. So what you can do is, if you lose one, you can still rely on 2 more. And then if you lose all 3, of course, you have to pay like a $50 fee because you lost the keys, right? And then they have to make new keys again. So I don't want to place it here because if you can't tell, it's an open container, open cartridge. It also doesn't make a lot of sense. I just placed it here because I didn't know where else to put the keys. But now I recognize I had to find an appropriate place because now we have more than 1 spare key. And it's very important, especially this one that I'm going to be using quite often. So I've decided, we have some ideas, right? So for example, maybe you could put inside like something obscure, like this pack of matches inside here, and carry along with you, so you have a spare key at all times. Another idea was, but I don't know if I want to do that, if I can link it across. I mean, if you're outdoors, you might as well just link your spare key onto your keychain, right? But then it might be, you don't want to have 2 spare keys together in the same spot. Long story short. Another place would be, you could put it inside like some kind of toolbox, right? You put it inside an obscure precision tool set, something like that. You could put it inside like an old glasses case, right? Think of somewhere that you would think of, but no one else would. But the most important part is basically whatever place you pick, not only does it have to be memorable, it has to be something that you would think to look forward to, right? So it's memorable, but also it's secure. So it doesn't open like this, right? This is putting it inside this kind of wrapping container. It's just like tossing my key across the table. That's like just leaving a spare key on the table, and then it gets knocked over when you're just like standing up or something like that, and then gets lost. So what I wanted was to find a place that can actually contain the keys, and I think I have an idea of where I might want to put it. Obviously I'm not going to say where it is on camera, on footage, on the podcast, but that's something else that's also really important. Security of the keys, and new keys that we have, new spares. Okay. All right, back to that's a new item, of course. It's a new spare key, but we also have new purchases, and that we have to get through this so that we can actually use it today for transferring more items over to the unit. So what I'm going to do here, okay. So first of all, let's cover some of the basic kind of just it's not good food. It's just like food that got me by. Once again, we actually had some food that was actually decent yesterday, but it was still considered like fast food. I had like Popeyes, right? It's like not healthy, but it was better than, say, a bag of chips for sure, or better than some dried fruit and trail mix. Actually, there's the irony, right? The trail mix is actually better for you than, say, going. No, it's not even. No, never mind. I was gonna say it's better than the Popeyes thing. But I had a sandwich. I didn't just have like fried chicken. I had like a Popeyes flounder thing. It was really good, and a pie. Anyways, so let's cover some stuff here. We have this Gator G0 from Dollarama, a full liter for like $2 or something like that. 230 milligrams of sodium. It's electrolyte, that's why. And then has 0 grams of sugar, and it's grape flavored. Very nice. I'm definitely gonna take this with me. It's very good. Basically a whole liter for just like $1.50, $1.02. No sugar, good stuff. Bought another bag of chips here in case when my brother comes in and maybe my sibling asks for one of these. Particularly favorite, jalapeno flavored. Anyways, it's not good for you. Anyways, it's like I was gonna say it's not good for you, but it's actually quite. Sometimes I forget how impactful, how much I analyze the nutritional facts before I purchase it. So for example here, 270 milligrams of sodium, and then 600 grams of potassium. So it doubles up the potassium to sodium ratio. Still not necessarily good for you, right? Obviously too much sodium, but we have 2 grams of fiber per 50 grams. That's actually pretty decent. But most potato chips have something along those lines. And it's pretty low in saturated fat, like 2 grams per 50. But the worst part is still there, right? It's still a deep fried food. That's largely why it's not that great. We'll put it aside. Okay, anyways. Alright, and that's all we've purchased in terms of like non-perishable foods. The rest is all equipment. So most of the stuff we bought yesterday that we had to get through right now, that I have to get through this. If I don't get through this, I'm not leaving this place, right? Because I cannot actually make use of it without. All right. So this stuff here we have 5 or 6 items to get through. First one here, let's showcase it. Man, this is incredibly useful. So I have bought 2 of these, but the first one is already inside the unit, and I opened it up, and it works like a charm. So this is the Splash collection. This is all dollar store stuff, by the way. So if you guys are thinking thrifty, affordable, and you're trying to flee some sort of abuse or harassment, this is the best way to do it. Of course, you can go to a dollar store and pick up whatever materials you need, and you can find a lot of useful stuff just from a dollar store. In this case, for my country, we have one called Dollarama. Maybe that's more easy for us. But here, Splash collection shower curtain liner. It's for $1.75, so like $2 after tax. 100% vinyl, mildew resistant, and you can tell it's a good size. The most important part was making sure that it was enough to cover the width and length of the unit. So, for example, I mentioned on Bluebird that we did a couple of video podcasts ago. If you guys have kept up, was like 5. The common sizes were what, 10 by 10 foot, something like that, or 5 by 5, and so what's 5 foot by 5 foot, right? It's like we're converting from the imperial to the metric system here, and I think so 1 foot is about 30 centimeters, so 90 centimeters, 3 feet is about 90 centimeters, or 0.1 or 0.9 meters. So 1.5 meters is roughly about 5 foot. And so we see 150 centimeters. So we have here 178 centimeters by 178.9. So this is enough to cover the entire width. So a 5 foot is already encompassed by this this shower curtain. And what's important about this is that we want to use this, as I said, to line up across the ceiling and then block out any of the debris or dust or bugs or critters that end up dropping from like the moth, for example, right? And on the back here, so we purchased a second one. Right? Why did we purchase a second one? Because it actually works. We tested it. We had the clips that we actually showcased in previous, I believe for you guys, it will be like 2-3 videos beforehand. For me, it's just yesterday. I recorded it, punched it out, or scheduled it, not punched it out. Oh, there was so much scheduling yesterday. That's why I'm so late today. There were some rings, okay, and on those rings, we had to snag some holes into the tablecloth, the shower curtain, and then see if they would, fit the right size, and if there was some sort of solution we could use to attach it to the ceiling. And yes, there is, so that's great. Next thing behind it is we can pull this out. I just kind of compounded it together. All the stuff here that we have, we're going to showcase right now in terms of equipment. I've already unboxed outside, so the packaging is already gone, most of it, except for like the stuff that we needed. I need the packaging for the curtain to keep the stuff together. And so you can see here I'm pulling out is a different product. This is a tablecloth from the same store. It's probably from a different brand, but if I'm be honest, the material feels very similar. No, it's just, I can see the patterning is a little different. One's diamond, one's more hexagonal. But it's a red tablecloth, okay? And this one's even larger by dimensions. It's shorter by width, so it's about 1.3 meters in width, but it's 2.3 meters in length. Whereas the other one, the shower curtain, is about 1.7 by 1.8. So you can see that this one's more lengthwise. We can still make use of it if I just thought that this one would give it a little bit more of a tiny more aesthetic flair. And I chose red because, of course, the Armo brand is red. Not that it's particularly all that necessary, but if we're going to go to a warehouse that often, it's not. It's probably helpful to make sure that we actually enjoy going there. I know it's a very minor thing, right, to have like just some coloration, but let me just say that adding some color makes a big difference. Right, this is one of those like home decor, interior design things. A little bit of color makes a big difference. Okay. Now, next thing, why don't we get rid of this thing here? It's very annoying. So we also bought a step ladder, right? And I found one of the major pain points of trying to get the ceiling covered up was I just couldn't reach the very top. So the top was a little bit higher than I could reach. And what is this stuff here? Just like some trash. Anyways, their point is, the ceiling was higher than I thought. Honestly, I thought I could just stick my hand up because I'm not that short actually. I'm at least 6 foot, so I'm at least 6 feet. Really, 6 feet? Yeah. Yeah. Oh wait. See, I'm fucked up by the metric conversions. Yeah, I'm at least 6 feet, so I thought I could reach it, and I couldn't actually reach it with ease. I had to jump, which is not good ergonomically because we're gonna be taping throughout the entire perimeter, or at least installing the hooks for the shower curtain. So if we're gonna do that, we definitely need to be comfortably able to move our hands like that. We can't just be, stretching all to the way to the ends and then trying to jump. It's not gonna work at all. So we have bought maybe a 20 centimeter high stepping stool. This will be enough to get me by. I wish it was just a little bit higher, maybe a foot would have been better, but this is the cheapest I could get at the dollar store. So it's like $4.50, so about $5. You can see the backdrop here. Attention, caution, maximum 200 pounds, made in Canada. Do not exceed, do not jump on it. Don't jump on it. You ever read one of those like warnings, those hazard signs, right? It's always something really, really obvious. Anyways, that's that. So we're gonna use this, and we took a scan of everything already, documentation. So I should probably put this back inside here, the cart, but in fact, so I should put the shower curtain and stuff inside as well. But we intend on filling it with stuff. That's why we're gonna leave it empty for now. Next, we also have all this stuff here inside a bag. So we'll cover them one by one. I know it's at times a little tight. I'm starting to wonder whether or not I can actually cover everything right now. Whether I should include the next one. well, we can do this. Let's do it. Okay. So on the inside we have.
In a certain mood,
Should I do it? Yeah. There's 4 items here. That's why it might take some time. So I'm just gonna pull out some of these pieces of equipment here. So this is 2 paintbrushes. So these are artist paintbrushes. You can see here. It says like 12 or 8. I believe they must be talking in terms of millimeters. So 12 millimeter or 1 or 8 millimeter paintbrushes. These are artist paintbrushes. I don't know if I'll use it because they're so refined that it'll take forever to paint the entire wheel. And so instead, what I have on the side is also, and let me just kind of pull it out. And again, these all came in their own packaging, but I already unboxed everything. So we have also these artisan paintbrushes. Artisan paintbrushes, you know, the ones that people use to like paint the house and stuff like that, or a canvas. You can feel it's actually quite soft. The bristles, good. This is like 1.5 inch, so 40 millimeters. The other one's 25, and then there's 2 more smaller sizes inside as well. And then there's also in here a tube of paint. So the brands are Pro Painter. For the artist brushes, for artisan brushes, it's something else. And then this one is Deco Art. So Deco Art, decoration, decorative art. Crafter's acrylic paint. So paint, black, 118 millimeters. And it has some instructions here. So for example, I'm looking at the time here. Use this value price matte finish acrylic to paint general craft and home decor projects. Directions: shake well, apply with a brush or sponge, right? It's water-based, it's permanent and fast drying, intermixable. Soap and water can clean up. For additional product information and projects, visit decoart.com or decoart, whatever you want to call it. Okay. And of course, the other paintbrushes had their own packaging, and I could have read it to you if I didn't throw it all away, but I did. So, okay. All right. So, last item for this video are these 2. I didn't know such a thing existed. That's why I purchased it. I thought it might be useful, but basically, you know the drapes around the windows? If you have your own house, the curtains, this basically just allows you to wrap around the curtains and then clicks together with 2 magnets. Very nice. It just had the right colors as well. It's like burgundy. That was the main selling point for this. Because I can now use this to wrap stuff that's like, for example, these like paintbrush and stuff like that. But you can tell that I was, usually I'm quite hesitant, let's be honest, to buy stuff like this. Painting equipment, I'm not much of a painter. I don't like to do stuff that's messy, and I don't like to do stuff that's unnecessary when it comes to like visual aesthetic like this, you know. I don't know. But I think what's happened is I'm starting to take ownership for my unit as almost like it's like my own place, and I think that's a good idea. It allows me to focus on something that is a productive aspect of life, you know. Alongside this project and many other things, I just now have another thing that I'm really excited to work on. And yeah, I guess that's all about. So I should put the paint stuff actually, by the way, back inside the cart. But again, we have to move stuff inside first. So that's that, and I think that's everything for this particular video podcast. So thanks for tuning in. I'm going to call this one an end. We may or may not, I'm looking at the time here, we don't have the opportunity to go yet. So we may end up recording another video podcast, which is great, because then I would love to knock off some administrative stuff as well behind the scenes. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Again, if you are painters yourselves, have you guys ever done any interior design thinking? You must have your own place, right? Share your thoughts, you know, what colors match, what don't, all that kind of fun stuff. But also it takes a lot of work, right? The logistics of it all, moving in, moving out, all the painting and stuff. Feel free to divulge on your own, you know, even leave photographs. Is that possible? Can you leave photographs in YouTube comments. I don't think so. Or the Spotify comments. I don't even know if Spotify has a comment section, honestly. So that's that. But if you can, just join Discord. Then join a Discord, man. It's in the link. The link's in the description below, of course. And then you can post the photographs of your place that you've been working on, your home. I should probably create a channel for that, but I haven't managed to create a. Yeah, if this ever starts to blow up and we start getting a community, for sure, that's so much larger than it is currently now. And thank you to someone who's been keeping in touch a little bit. I know it's only daily uploads, so they're watching videos that are like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, but I really appreciate that person right now, and I'm gonna make a video shouting out a little bit. So that's it. So thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys for watching, for staying up to date, and for sharing your stories and your relatable experiences. And I'll see you guys in the next one, which most likely, unfortunately, I'm going to record now. I didn't want to do this, but yeah, I'll see you guys in that one. Peace out.